Catwoman, issue 27. Ram V writing with Fernando Blanco on the art. So, we've been feeling positive about this. This is the third issue of the run. And we'd set up kind of the status quo with the various crime organizations, the corrupt cop, all that stuff. And this issue, continues that thread. It has, what's his name? Hadley?
Yes, that sounds about right.
Hadley, the detective. And he's looking into, the burglar that clearly was Catwoman because of the claw marks, and he's like trying to figure out what does she want. But what's, I think, really smart about this issue, because the first issue had to pack in so much stuff, so much setup, so much exposition of all the various characters, is that this issue got to just take what it's set up and give us like a simple little like sort of thriller heist plan. Yeah, where Catwoman's watching this van. That's what she stole. She stole intel where this delivery was going. It's this van full of drugs, and she's watching. But she's got all of her troubled teens that she's kind of adopted, like helping her, and they've all got parts to play in this plan. One's on the bike directing traffic, one's in a truck, one's doing this, one's doing that. And the sequence plays out wonderfully. It's beautifully drawn. The sequential art and the motion and it's got this pulse to it, which feels like this a scene in a thriller where all the heist stuff is going off.
I love the coloring as well. The way it shines like the headlights.
Mm-hmm.
Really effective stuff.
It's all even just something as simple as the van is the van is bright blue, and then later on, like they use a truck to hit it, which is bright red. And I love it's almost this kind of like the two key vehicles, because there's a lot of other vehicles in the road. There's like a white car, there's other things, there's someone on a bike. But the two most important things on the road are very brightly color coded for us, so that our eye always is caught to them. We always go to them first. And even just the page where Catwoman like gasses them when they get out the van, and we get this fight sequence. She's wearing the gas mask, and it's beautiful.
I love the way that this is. It's free form. There's no like paneling. It's just she pops up out of the smoke and kicks or punches, and whatever happens, and you just see it. This random smattering of violence works really well.
The beautiful transition from that page to the next is that there's two guys in the van who open the doors, and in the top panel on the next page, when they open the doors, they're actually sort of like pushing the smoke to the side, right? So the previous page, it's all freeform with no paneling. It's all just the smoke and the cloudiness, and then the very first panel on the next page is the smoke being cleared in the panel as an action. Yeah. It's a really smart little transition. And then Catwoman, of course, takes them down. It's all fine. They basically trick the corrupt cop who was paid to watch the shipment by having him follow a fake van it's empty. And it's all this, all that. She goes, because we know that this the gun runner, the other mob boss lady at the strip club, she it kind of like ratted on her to begin with at the end of the last issue.
Yeah.
But Catwoman still goes to her and she says like, hey, we got a deal now, I've proven that I can do this. It's all very good. But at the end of the issue, she says, you know what, I think I like Catwoman. I think Selena Kyle, she's feisty, she's this, she's strong, she's independent, all this stuff. But she called it my streets and she's got too many like morals and ideals. And she's got a sniper looking at Selena, take the shot. And it was that, it was right as this was happening, I was like, wait a minute, we had like an assassin last issue who was like watching her.
I almost want this to be the last page of the issue, though. That last panel, you take the shot, and it's just it's a black panel, just says bang. I kind of want that to be the end of the issue. Like, there's only like 2 pages after that, but I feel like that's a more effective end.
It kind of is, but I kind of love that it this is where it sort of brings back this assassin from last issue, because there's a moment where she says take the shot. I'm like, wait a minute, there was already an assassin watching her, what happened to him? And then the very next page, the gunshot was him taking out the sniper and saying no, like you don't take another man's kill, and talking about how when I kill her, I'll wait until she's at her happiest, I'll wait until she's actually feeling she's on top of the world, and I'll take it from her.
Because Ram V understands storytelling.
Yes, it's wonderful stuff. The pacing's wonderful, the art's gorgeous, coloring's immaculate throughout. Even just like the silent panels, well, not even that silent, but it's Hadley, he gets a note from Catwoman saying to go to the storage locker because she doesn't want the drugs, she wants them off the street. So she's basically just sort of set them up in a storage locker for him, along with some handcuffed bad guys to take in. But the idea that we go from like the purples of the club where the mob boss lady is, to the rainy streets, and then it becomes like a really blue rainy street when the Catwoman's there and the assassin's like on the rooftop. Like it really plays with the coloring and the setting of each scene.
The coloring's wonderful when it's with Hadley, especially whether that's kind of at his apartment, or or if he's just coming out of the GCPD offices, wherever it is at the end, and at the start where he's inside the GCPD in the offices. It feels like I'm reading Gotham Central with the color, with that flat beige coloring. I really like it.
Yeah, honestly, the book has a Gotham Central feel to it, which is weird given that we're following Catwoman mainly, but because she's doing crime stuff and it's really well executed crime stuff, it kind of has a vibe, like a crime movie vibe to it. And
it does, yeah.
And it had that last issue as well, to be fair, but here it has that too. And I think because it revolves around this van heist, it gives it this focus that lets you just follow a fun thing. And there was so much information set up last issue that as I was starting this, I'm like, I remember vaguely these characters, but I think what this issue does that's really smart is because it lets us focus on a really simple plot of watching this plan unfold. As it brings in the characters we learned about last issue, it became very easy to remember who each of them were, the context of what they are in the story. And it's something that there's other comic books that really struggle with this, where they'll introduce a lot of new characters in a book, and it'll get to the next issue, and I'll be like, oh god, who are these characters? Like, none of this is stuck. And I think this is almost a masterclass in how to reiterate who they are without it feeling like a chore, keeping it entertaining, and I think keeping the plot of the second issue very simple to let all of those things sort of drip back through, to the point now when we get to issue 3, all of these characters have been reinforced a little bit, so next time it'll be even easier to sort of remind us who they are, because they're starting to become established in our minds. And I think that's really smart.
Me and Matt as well, we're banging the drum on Hawkman for like 2 years about how it was like low key, like our favorite ongoing book. Like that, and obviously that has now unfortunately come to an end. This might be kind of already starting to take that spot, because we had 2 proper issues, and we had the issue as well, by the 25, where it was kind of the setup issue as well.
Yeah, it was a 2. Oh, it was a tie-in and 2 backup stories, yeah.
Yeah, but between that and then into these 2 proper issues, I feel like this kind of might be taking that place as not like one of the major books, but probably the one I'm going to look forward to most any week that it's out on. Yeah,
I'm finding myself being excited for it now, which is a very good sign.
Yeah, it's just such a strong book, and I've seen Fernando Blanco on a lot of books over the last few years. I think he obviously was doing Catwoman with George Jones for a bit, but before that, I think he did some Batwoman for a while. After the first arc, he's popped up on quite a few things, and I've always thought, his art's solid. But all of a sudden, I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's doing anything different, if it's just the way this script suits his art, or maybe it's the colors bringing something out. I don't know, but whatever it is, all of a sudden it's like the best I've ever personally enjoyed it. Suddenly it just feels more to my taste of what this book is. I'm loving it.
What are you giving it?
It's a 9 from me.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 9 too. Pretty immaculate, to be honest, and exciting. Good pacing, soaking in atmosphere. There's very little to complain about.
I really hope the 2 months off for Future State doesn't kill the momentum of the book. I think we should be okay, because I believe Ram V is still doing the Catwoman Future State issues, so we might still be getting the that void will be filled still. So we should be okay, I hope.
Yeah. No, I'm digging Catwoman a lot. It is quickly becoming one of my most anticipated books every month.